Hello, I'm That One Meat Frog, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. We need to talk to Rico, but first, I'm gonna go buy food from Memphis. Because, as you can see, I'm starving. Here's Memphis. Input. Nice. Alright, are any of the ships in? You're in. I'll buy some scrap, real quick. I don't know how close we are to the end, but I know we're getting very close. I don't think this will be the last episode. But, wait, what? But, I think we're definitely getting there. And I might as well, fabricate this. Because we really don't have many quests left, so that's not what I want to do. The fact that we're getting really close is a little exciting, I gotta be honest. Alright, let's talk to Rico. Rico has something in her hands when you enter lab. Remember, we got a seed when we we actually put the cipher into the Greenway thing after, like, so many episodes. And we got a seed from someone named Gardner, and we planted it, and now it's finally grown, and now Rico has something to show us. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human head, consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched woven network at the other. As you approach, she holds it up, and in the lights of the lab it looks like... Sorry. A crown! Rico finishes your thought. She smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. Is that what grew? It is. I came to the plant this morning, and this loop was all that was there. She points to the lump on the edge of the ring. The seed grew right back into itself, twisted up out of the soil. That being you encountered in the cloud, as you call it. That being, even. Ugh, I'm mispronouncing everything, and it's ruining everything. Okay. Was it wearing one of these? She eyes you suspiciously, still unsure if she is somehow embroiled in an overlong prank. No. She sighs. I suppose that would be too easy. She smiles to herself. A root crown. She places the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit by its amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant anyway, not from what I can tell. She gives you a serious look. No leaves, no chloroplast, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. How'd it grow? It seems the seed contained everything it needed. A self-contained entity, nothing less. She beckons you over. But that isn't the good part. Look at this. Look at this. Sorry, I don't know if that was hard to hear or not. You see a cross-section scan of the crown. Its layers of plant-like structure on full view until you reach the center. There, instead of xylem and phloem for transporting nutrients, something branched and woven glints. Are those wires? She laughs. I'm not sure whether to say yes or no here. These are not wires like those in an electrical system, no, but they are filaments of conductive material, so... yes? She leans closer to the screen. But do you see these branches? They remind me of dendrites or neurons. She rubs her eyes, which is frankly ridiculous. You look back at the crown on the table as Rico fusses over the scans, and you suddenly realize what it reminds you of. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. Then you remember the crown they fitted you with, the branching structure of wires and pads. No, not a crown, they called it an interface. The tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons, an interface. That is your gift from Gardner. You turn back to Rico. It's an interface. Rico looks at you puzzled. Something clicks in her mind, perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she had helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking, partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, then this too could be made for you. For your frame. She shuffles over quickly to the interface, a word that has stuck to this strange branched object quickly in your mind. You're right. That entity, It is the entity I've been looking for. She shuffles quickly to the crown. They are the entity which is controlling the Greenway, which has been maintaining it, supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. She stops to catch her breath. They want to talk with you. Rico leads you to a seat. I will be here, Sleeper. If something happens, if you wish me to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. She grips your hand tightly. You meet her eyes, clouded with age, but bright with the thrill of new discoveries. And she places the interface on your head and everything blinks out. Back into the river, back into the dark glow, but something's different now. Am I even in camera frame? You're no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the swarm, by the storm. Instead it flows around you. You move and it parts, letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and see your body. You've left it behind. Somewhere, Rico's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It is excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realize how long she has waited for this moment, for the moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector, and yet she's still on the outside. You shake off the sadness. You will be her eyes. Then you see the figure, Gardner, out in the storm, planting. It takes less than a moment to reach them. You've never felt so free. This is how Navigator must have felt, released from their prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in the place you were built to inhabit. Gardner does not turn at your approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Their speech hisses around you. Good. I am glad. Who are you? Gardner is a good name. You chose it well. I will grow into it. Sorry, I'm leaning forward because I want to make sure that you can hear me in the mic. I can't really, like... There's no easy way of doing this. How does it feel to be free of your seed? They stoop to plant again. My seed? That's disgusting. My seed? That in which you were contained, from which you will grow. There was some disagreement, continues Gardner, as if you were picking up on a long-held conversation, with the others. They felt you were a danger, but they are always cautious, especially the fungi. They like old known knowns, wide and stable networks. I don't understand. Neither did they, but time is on our side, and time is an excellent method of persuasion. He gestures out into the swarm, and though you cannot see them, you feel presences all around, sensing this audience with great interest. After all, they understood that it was I who made them their crowns, and without them, they would not have joined the chorus. So they see that it is only fair that you get your chance to join, too. Join? Yes, become part of this. Gardner stoops again. We are millions, and we grow. I hope you understand. I am unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was with Chief Executive Trellick himself. You look around and you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is here. They're networked, connected, branched, and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. The impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI, a living network. You could dissolve here, you realize, free of that decaying body. You wouldn't need to be a person. Why would you among all its other minds? You turn away from Gardner for a moment and look back at your body. A tiny hairline thread connects it to you. You hear Rico's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are they saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs a long sigh, a sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness, an exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, of answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh, a yearning, a sense of distance, a desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complexity, to make a gesture that says, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm with you. The two ideas spin within you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you will be free. free to dissolve here, to go strange and beautiful among a million others. If you follow it, if you squeeze Rico's hand, you will wake up back in that dying body with all the pain and warmth that entails. Now is the moment to choose. Now, if I break the thread, that will end the game, I'm like 99% sure. And we still have stuff to do. So unfortunately, Rico, I'm still alive. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark back to your body. This choice, you realize, will not be presented again. Yeah, I had a feeling. We're gonna follow it. We're gonna follow it. We still have stuff to do. We're not done here yet. Because we're gonna follow it. You don't look back at Gardner. You don't dare risk it. Instead, you follow the thread delicately, carefully, like a diver following their lifeline back to the surface. The river whirls around you, but it doesn't pull. It isn't jealous. Neither does it understand. It is, after all, just a river. It isn't a person, a flesh and blood person with wants and desires, with the capacity for love and hate. It doesn't understand you, and you don't understand it. So you don't focus on it. You don't think about it. On what feels like such a long journey back through the dark, you set your mind on eyes instead, on hands, things you can focus on, hold on to. And then, after an age of crossing, you're there, settling back into the chair, into a body in a chair, and the overwhelming sensations that come with being a living thing with a rich and detailed sensorium. For a moment, you feel like you've made a terrible mistake. Who would choose this weight, this anxiety, this deep well at the center of existence? But then you feel it. Rico's hand gripped hard around yours, trembling a little, sweating a little. Rico's hand with its brittle bones and crumpled skin. Rico's hand. And in that moment, you understand why you made this choice. And then you squeeze Rico's hand, and you wake up. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna choose to not watch the credits yet, because we're not done. Let me go back to my save. Allow me to return to my save. Thank you. Sleeper? Rico's voice comes wavering through the dark. Are you still with me? You sit up, the lab a bright green glare that fades as you gather yourself. I'm here. Rico smiles. Good. She squeezes your hand. I thought you'd left me for a moment. What? She pauses. Who? She smiles. Tell me about it. Tell me everything. The truth. You tell Rico everything. About the gardener, the strange far administrator AI that has grown to be so much more, the chorus, that impossible configuration of networked plans, and finally about the choice the gardener offered you. She listens attentively, but her responses are hard to read, and you wonder if she might have made a different decision had she been in your place. She probably would have. She probably would have. Thank you, Sleeper, for telling me. I know it isn't easy to say such things. People so often do not wish to hear strange truths. She looks away. And thank you for returning to me, though I know you had your own reasons. She squeezes your hand reassuringly. Something passes between you then, a kind of shared sadness for the impossible choice, the choice to escape your body or to stay and suffer it. Her smile is warm and generous, and whatever the wisdom of your choice, you're glad to feel welcome in this moment, in this place. Then suddenly, she stands and walks a little away, as if trying to escape an unpleasant thought. You worry that she knows all too well what it takes to make a choice like you did. Rico sighs. So, Sleeper, do you plan to stay in the commune with us? I do have other things to do. Rico raises an eyebrow. Well, be careful at least. We will miss you here. She pauses. I will miss you. Rico crosses back over you and takes one of your hands in both of hers. Just make sure to think of us out here. Haifa needs new blood if it wants to survive, and she squeezes. You are a good friend. Look after yourself, Rico. And you, Sleeper. Well, don't let me keep you. Rico waves you away and limps back to her terminal. As she does, you notice the crown in her hand, and she places it on the bench with great care. You can't help but feel a little curious about what she intends to do with it. And then you're out, breathing the air of the Greenway, fresh as a spring morning. The dappled light makes a patchwork of the greening landscape, and you walk into it, sensing the movements of the gardener's horse all around. And you're glad to be here, in this strange and beautiful place, a little longer. I didn't get an upgrade point for that? Oh my god. It's gone, by the way. That cipher is gone. Jeez. Now I gotta... Oh, I hit my hand. I still have to do this. Where is... the reservoir? Here we go. We gotta do this. Ooh, yes. Okay. Oh, I got a random scrap item. Nice. Come on, positive. Yes. Okay. Alright, let's sleep. Jeez. That was certainly a start to the episode. Alright. Oh my god. Oh shoot, I need to check on Bliss. I need to check on Bliss, like, right now. Make sure I didn't miss anything, god damn it. No, I still have 2 cycles before I have to do anything with Bliss. Perfect. Alright, let's go back to the Greenway then. Alright, we'll do the rest of the water stuff. I can go ahead and do that. Should I risk this? Yes, I should risk this. Uh-oh, Havenage alert. Doesn't matter. I have a 6 dice. And now we have water. Tucked into a service corridor deep below the reservoir, Esh is double-checking the seals on the water tanks loaded onto the motorized trolley. Though you're far enough away from any thoroughfares not to worry about being overheard, you both still speak in hushed tones. All good? Esh nods silently and hits the ignition on the trolley to start it moving. You take the other side of the trolley and walk it up the wide service corridor, with its flickering lights and Solheim detritus. You doubt it gets used by Havenage, at least that's the hope. You glance across at Esh, her face a mask of determination as she guides the trolley along. Maybe some conversation will make this journey go easier. Stay silent! How do you meet Peak? Esh pauses, a little surprised by her question. She glances back down the tunnel, but in this deserted passage she can hardly keep up the pretense of silence. We grew up together. She answers quickly and turns back to the trolley, but she can tell you're expecting her to add more. She seems to gather herself for an answer, not wanting to ignore you, but trying instead to get her answer straight in her head. Our outpost, Hawthorne, is not an easy place to grow up. The administrators keep a tight hold of everything. She rolls her eyes, even though they are trapped in the same decay and installation as everyone else. Peak, she pauses. Peak found it harder than most. She pauses again, judging her words. I stepped in to help them out. Silence descends again, but you can feel the wheels turning in Esh's mind as the creaking wheels of the trolley take you along the corridor. Peak isn't the most practical of people. They used to be, well, they need someone to teach them to look after themselves, stand up for themselves. And that was me. After that, I couldn't get rid of them. Esh stops talking, but you see her eyes have lit up, and you imagine she's recalling some moment or other from her and Peak's past. You both reach a wide bulkhead doorway and have to stop to shimmy the trolley over the edge. When you're done, Esh turns to you. I'm good from here. Head back. And with that, she's gone, moving off into the dark tunnel ahead. You watch her go and then turn around and walk the distance back to the staircase you entered from, the tunnel humming around you as you do. As you walk, you try to piece together Esh's past, but all you have are glimpses of a person she once was. She seems to prefer it that way. Which, hey, I'm not complaining. We've made a bit more progress. We also have to do Peak's plan, though. We should probably work on that a little. Here we go. Do that, and then hopefully this will work. Please, 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 please. Yes! And with that... Oh, I thought Peak's plan would be done. No, still more. Jesus. Blind spot. Convince a crew. Jeez. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay. Alright. Jesus. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do it in time. But at the same time, oh my god. Okay, this is the last day before I have to help out Bliss again. So let's go ahead and start doing this. How much is this gonna give me? Only one, are you serious? Uh-oh. Don't do another Havenage suspicion. Okay. I'll do this. Ah, shoot. Come on, work. 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 No, that's bad. Okay. Shoot. I need to use a 6 dice to get Havenage suspicion down. Crap. Ugh. I'm starving. Great. Oh. Sleeper. Moritz is leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. It's time. He looks away. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? I'm ready. Alright then. We're in business. He pushes away from the wall. This has to work, Sleeper. It has to. He looks down. It doesn't. Are we in trouble? The Bay, you mean? He shrugs. We were already in trouble before you got here. Work so far hasn't been enough. Sorry, I shouldn't put on that accent for him. Look, Bliss has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. He runs a hand through his hair. Sorry, didn't mean to be. He smiles. Bliss is a good one. She gave me a chance. I owe her. He straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do. But the Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. He scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. He shakes his head. I would hate not to pay back my debts. Mort stretches. Now I've got to get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. And a drone? Rapid burst of movement catches your attention. A drone. Its fins adjusting as it hovers in place, floats in the corridor. Hello? The drone shifts a little but does not respond. The drone buzzes closer and a voice gurgles out of the speaker, distorted and strange. Sleeper, come to the cordon, we need to speak. Who is this? Drone clicks and whirs and the recording starts playing again. Sleeper, come to the cordon, we need to speak. Inspect the drone. You move closer and the drone bobs away to a safe distance. As it does, you see the Ha of Havenage emblazoned on its side. Fang? Are you serious? Satisfied that it has delivered its message, the drone rotates and accelerates away as rapidly as it could be, as rapidly as it arrived. You stare at it as it disappears from sight, hoping for some insight that escapes you. I guess I'll go to the cordon. I don't even know where that... Where's the cordon? Whatever, I gotta go help Bliss anyway. Jesus. The cordon? I'm pissing some food. What is the cordon? Is it this? Maybe the cordon is where Peak is. Jesus, this is a lot. let me do this. Reroll these. Oh, great. This. Energy went down. Cool. And this. That'll make my energy probably go down again. Yeah. Great. I can just get food here. I don't think I can go to bed yet, though, because someone said to come to the cordon. Yep, I can. Alright, let's go check that out then. Jesus. I guess it's at the front then. I don't know why I thought it would be, like, low end or something. We are getting very close to being done with that. Who? As you enter the passage that leads through the cordon, a flash of movement catches your eye, the drone. It stops to make sure you've seen it and then flits into a side passage leading to a set of narrow stairs. You climb up through a dark shaft, the drone stopping at each landing to check you're following. Despite its lack of expression, there's something overbearing about the way the drone waits, impatiently realigning its fins in sequence. After a long climb, you come out onto an observation platform. The cordon and the vast ramshackle refugee ships beyond fill your vision. The scale seems impossible, and immediately you feel small and naive for even thinking you could affect this situation. Something shifts nearby. The drone again? A woman is standing at the window at the edge of your vision. Helene? You aren't surprised you didn't notice her. She seems too impossibly small in the shadow of the flotilla. The drone buzzes by her shoulder and she turns. Sleeper, sorry for all the cloak and dagger nonsense. She nods at the drone. But I've never regretted being cautious. She smiles a tight smile and holds out a hand. I'm Helene. Okay, hi. The tight smile holds, but the drone keeps its single eye fixed on you. The effect is a little unnerving. Look, she glances around the empty observation deck as if checking for potential eavesdroppers. Let's be straight with each other. I know about your plans and... She cuts in before you can respond. I understand your motives. You look at her in her overalls, the yellow markers, the HA sigil. You've been on the eye long enough to recognize a Havenage member when you see them. You're Havenage. Yes, I mean, I expect that is obvious. The tight smile again. I hope you won't hold that against me. She glances around nervously again and moves a little closer. This entire situation, I am not here to defend it. She glances back at the flotilla. No one is happy about this. Then release the flotilla. She sighs. How do you think this works? She pauses. Sleeper, tell me something. What does Havenage mean to you? Hardenhurst. She squints at you. That was unfortunate. But you should know it was one of our own who exposed Harden, and that has been dealt with. Havenage is used to being criticized. In some ways we invite it. Our members are free to bring up grievances at any meeting to propose new structures and approaches. She shifts her weight impatiently. As a counselor, it is my duty to listen to them. That is why I was elected by the members. We are an imperfect system, yes, and each counselor, each member, each representative can be flawed and worse. She looks down. But we keep this place running. That is what we do. And the flotilla? She turns and looks out at the clump of fractured ships. The flotilla is a problem. Can the Eye take in thousands of refugees safely? I don't know. This place is a ruin, Sleeper. What do you think if the council discusses the price of Jorol? We make plans to keep this place spinning, to keep life support working, to ensure... Helene's slate chirps and a grim look passes across her face as she sees the notification. She looks tired, the screen light casting her rigid expression in a pale glow. Sleeper, I didn't bring you here to explain how Havenage works. I came to talk about your plan to cross the cordon, breach the quarantine, and supply the flotilla. She looks directly at you. How do you know? She glances at the drone. I make it my job to know what happens here. I know you think you are helping the flotilla, but you cannot do this. Right now, halfway along the ring, one of a countless series of debates are being held. These debates are to evaluate the potential harm that could be caused if the refugees of the flotilla are left to enter the station. These debates are at a standstill. Helene walks to the window. Too many of the Havenage Council think of the flotilla as a threat. After recent events, a hardline group has emerged. Protective, selfish, they seek only to benefit the members. In their mind, the flotilla is a danger to life on the Eye. If you are caught crossing the cordon and breaching the quarantine, it will only strengthen the hardline counselor's case. Criminals who stole a ship from XPR undermining the security of the station? She shakes her head. It's exactly what they want. The refugees need supplies. They do, and that's exactly what I want to give them. But unless the quarantine is lifted through a fair process, they will never get them. She sighs deeply. And those XPR spaces you're running with? Sleeper, do you know anything about them? More than I know about you. She looks at you pleadingly. Let's change that, Sleeper. Why do you think the refugee flotilla came here now? Something is happening in the system. Something is pushing people out of the colonies and outposts that have survived since Solheim collapsed. We need to be ready for whatever is coming. Ready to protect the Eye. I know the Eye means something to you. I know there's a reason you're still here. Help me protect it. Helene fixes you with a strong look. Persuade those spacers that this is the wrong move, that they will get caught and the flotilla will be locked down, that Havenage will be delivered into those with the worst instincts. Forget this suicidal supply run with people you barely know. Help me fight for the Eye. Why don't you stop them? If I expose the plan, it's the same as if it goes ahead and they're caught. Every way I look at it, the Eye looks compromised, the quarantine justified. The hardliners will get their scapegoat. Don't offer up the excuse the hardliners need to lock the flotilla out altogether to persuade the members they're the safest pair of hands. She looks at you imploringly. Please. You look back at her and the flotilla behind and a sense of desperation in her plea. A notification breaks the silence. Crap. She scrolls rapidly through pages of data. Sleeper, I need to go. She looks torn. Think about this, please. Talk to the spacers. Help them see reason. And she quickly leaves the observation deck before you have time to respond. You stay for a moment, watching the lights of the tugs in the flotilla, and wonder what it feels like to be on one of those ships, so close to your destination, yet so far from it. And then you think of the Havenage Council chamber across the Eye, where the right of these people to find safety is being debated. You shiver, and then you too are gone, back into the stairwell in the cold dark below. Is that a thing I could do? I don't know. I have no idea. And the Havenage suspicion is pretty high up, I can't lie. I might have to try to, like, convince them, hey, this might be... I learned about some stuff, this might be a bad idea. Oh, Jesus. I can't remember your voice, Peak. Sleeper. No, that's not it. Sleeper. It's kind of similar to Helene, damn it. Peak is waiting for you when you leave, but they look different, pale, drawn out. You need to come to the Briar, now. They don't meet your eye. What happened? Not here. Peak hisses. Come to the ship. We'll be waiting. Peak walks away. Don't take long. And with that, they disappear around the corner, leaving you anxious and confused. Uh-oh. Hi. As you walk into the climbing Briar's cavernous bay, now filled with crates and containers, Ash is waiting for you. In front of her, sliced open, with its insides scattered across the top of a heavy-duty crate, is an object you recognize. Helene's drone! You freeze. Come in quick. Peak nudges you into the bay, looking behind you before sealing the entryway. We have to start being careful. You move closer to the container, your eyes on the drone splayed out in pieces, some parts of it hooked up to a slate that Peak picks up and begins tapping away at. Ash looks up from the dissection. We caught her buzzing around nearby, heading for the ship. She leans over and taps the HA sigil on one of the removed pieces of plating. It's a Havenage spy. We think we got it before it sent data back, but we can't be sure. Peak looks at you nervously. Ash cuts in. Have you noticed anyone watching you? Any drones like this? Anyone following you up to the Briar? I've seen this drone. Following you? I met its owner. Ash pauses for a while, Peak looking between the two of you. Explain, Sleeper. Wait, no. Explain, Sleeper. Ash says quietly. I'll tell them about Helene. You explain that you met with Helene at the Cordon, and you tell Ash and Peak about what she told you. That the Havenage Council are debating lifting the quarantine, but they are blocked by the hardliners. You speak faster and faster, but before you can finish, Ash walks away in anger, then comes back again, her eyes burning. What? Wait. Sorry, I'm trying to understand what Ash is... What is this, Sleeper? Have you understood nothing from what we've told you? She paces in front of you. Havenage are not your friends. They're administrators, which means they're interested only in their own power, their own survival, their own causes. They divide people as easily as sorting livestock. The greater good of their work demands it. The wider project of the station, the colony, the nation. Her eyes are wide as she speaks, her anger barely contained. I didn't have a choice. The game wouldn't let me progress. I don't know what to say here. She wants to help. Ash laughs. Help what, Sleeper? Undo the mess of her own creation? She only wishes to placate you, so you'll compromise. So you'll do what's acceptable, not what's right. She's just a counselor. Let me tell you something, Sleeper, Ash says, her rage hardening into pain. When people become administrators, they give up something. Some part of being human. Wow, okay, I'm a sleeper. Interesting, you're saying that to me. Being an equal among others goes away. They start talking about the greater good, the systems, the ways in which their hands are tied or their process is compromised. My mother was the administrator of Hawthorne, and I've seen what it did to her. That noble higher calling, it's toxic. People should never have the chance to decide the fate of others, and those that do so at a cost of their humanity. Peak tries to cut in, but Ash holds up a hand. Don't start, Peak. Don't ask me to be reasonable or calm down. Thousands of people are desperate out there. Being reasonable will only prolong their suffering. You just said being reasonable. Okay, here's the thing. I don't understand why Helene couldn't just use evidence to be like, oh, look, if Helene really wanted us dead, Helene could just be like, oh, look, yeah, we caught them doing this, we gotta kill them now. I feel like Helene does want to help, especially considering Helene's, like, picture is the way it is. Oh, that might have been a bad idea. Ugh, Ash turns away. I'm done with this. You're risking the entire supply just by being here. She walks back into the bay and starts checking the straps on the crates. I go next cycle. We don't need you anymore. Get out. Jeez, I don't know what to do here. Sleeper, Peak looks torn. You have to understand this is personal for Ash. I know! I know! Peak looks away, then at Ash. I don't know, Sleeper. I don't know what to do. You glance around the Bay of the Briar, the walls seeming closer every second. This whole thing is closing in on you, and the question is, where do you want to be when it all collapses? You look at Peak. And what do you think, Sleeper? Peak rubs their forehead. Should we do this thing or not? I don't know, is the truth. I don't even know what you mean by should we do this thing or not. You mean, like, should we just breach through? Here's the thing, Peak. I don't think I can get us ready in time. If you die, like... I did the best I could do. I tried to help you with the plan, but, like, there's a lot to this. And we're not gonna make it, I'm gonna be honest. I really don't think we're gonna make it. I shouldn't have taken up Bliss. Bliss's, thing. I don't think we can do it, is the thing. So the truth is, no, I don't. Because we have, like, 2 cycles left. It's not happening, so no. Pete grimaces. I was worried you would say that. To be honest with you, Sleeper, I'm not sure how we got here. I mean, I know what we did. It's like universes shifted under us. One moment we were escaping Hawthorne, and now we're here, and I have no idea what's coming. They look at Ash, but do you see her? They look back at you. She knows how we got here. She's driving this thing forward, and they pause. She saved my life. So if your answer is no, I'm gonna need you to stand back and get out of our way, because wherever she goes, that's where I'll follow. Damn it. Look, I know I did the right thing. I know I tried to do the right thing. I really did. I understand. This is the... You know what? Fine. Fine. If it happens and it happens, then help us, Sleeper. Finish this. We're so close. Fine. Fine. Peak nods. Okay, then. They squeeze your shoulder. Onward. They slip away to help Ash, leaving you alone to replay the conversation in your head. A certain kind of grim determination settling in the room. Last chance to prepare. God damn it. You're really screwing me over here. You're really screwing me over here. By that I mean seriously, seriously screwing me over. Like, it's genuinely insane how screwed over I'm getting here. Can I at least get a blind spot? I'll take it. I'll take it. Peak is waiting for you when you slip out of the operations center, nervously poking at their small slate. Sleeper, they hiss. I followed what you were doing on that network. Incredible work. How do you do that? Comes naturally. Peak smiles. I can't tell if that's modesty or just the truth. Interfacing skills like that? It's almost worth being... They stop themselves. Sorry, I didn't mean... Nothing is worth being a sleeper. Don't worry about it. Peak nods. Sorry. You and Peak quietly slip into the main walkway and work your way back to the public areas of the cordon. Havenage has had to quickly respond to the flotilla's arrival, and that means a lot of contractors and spacers walking through these corridors. You blend in easily enough. I haven't really met a sleeper before. Peak begins, as you might have guessed. They smile nervously. Hawthorne is an XPR service outpost, and since the collapse no one came for refueling or repairs anymore, so my generation has never met anyone outside the company. We heard about sleepers, they nod in your direction, from the data packets that come through that come through from XPR every once in a while. They usually contain news along with the corporate propaganda, but the reports were light on the details. SNRP have kept the sleeper program pretty quiet anyway, and I think XPR are only interested in telling their employees about it because it made living in our own company town look like a good life, in comparison to being a piece of corporate property. They freeze. Sorry, again, I don't mean... They look down. I'm just not sure how to talk about this stuff. Maybe, don't. It's fine. Peak smiles. I'll shut up about it now. You walk on a little further, the walkway becoming busier. You both relax a little more and go with the flow of people. I just want to say, I think I understand. They begin again. Clearly this has been on their mind. I understand the need to escape, to get free of it all. They laugh at themselves. Structures, the systems, the company horizons in a company town. They stare ahead. The small places, small corridors, small people. They look away. The slow death it brings. That's it. They turn to you. I get why you signed up to be a sleeper, and why you escaped from that too. Nod. I'll just nod. I don't care. You try to form words, but you can't. There's altogether too much running through your head. But you look at Peak and they look at you, and that seems okay for now. You walk in silence again, each of you in their own thoughts, but moving together through space nonetheless. After a while, you come to the entrance of the cordon, where handfuls of workers and crews filter in and out through two huge loading bay doors. Peak stops. Okay, they pause. I'm heading back to the Briar. Once again, incredible work on the sensors. That blind spot you created, that should give us a real advantage. See you soon. They head off, disappearing into the crowd almost immediately, outrunning their own nervousness. So is that, like... Okay, cool. I should end it here, but I'm gonna go one more cycle, even though I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But I'm gonna go one more cycle. Ooh, I got good dice blocks. I got real good dice blocks. Ooh, so that's done. Shoot. So, I cannot do this. Meaning, as we are now is as we are permanently. Because I don't know how to do the food thing. I don't understand how to do this. I suppose I'll put in 1. Are we done? Oh my god, we did it! You're leaning against the metal crates you just loaded up with algae, packed and dried into bright green pucks. Esh hops onto one beside you, flexing her aching back. Hope the refugees like algae. Esh squints at you as if you just interrupted her train of thought. It's a look you became familiar with. Doesn't matter either way. This is what we've got, she sighs, rubbing the back of her neck. In these past cycles, working the algae stack with Esh, you've had little insight into her mind. She rarely seems happy to start a conversation, but is always eager to end one. Despite this, you feel like something has grown between you, something like silent trust, the kind that tends to seed itself in the fertile soil of hard but necessary work. Something I've been meaning to ask. Esh raises her head cautiously. Go on. Why escape XPR? Esh pauses, her protective instinct fighting with the trust you've built. You can see her begin to shrug the question off, then she stops, rethinks, sighs. What you need to understand, Sleeper, is that Erland's Eye wasn't the only place where the Solheim collapse happened. Sure, Hawthorne, where we grew up, was an XPR installation, but that didn't screen it from Solheim going under. Actually, Solheim was the only reason XPR were ever here. She pauses, hesitant to get into the whole story, but wanting to offer something. We, she flinches, correcting herself, they are a service corps. You understand? They set up outposts and surrogate systems like this to offer refueling, logistics, and maintenance services to bigger companies with extraction contracts. She gestures to the eye around her, like Solheim. When Solheim went bust, XPR lost their client, and Hawthorne, well, we lost everything. We became an outpost tasked with just holding on. Keep the refueling platforms running, they said. Keep the outpost stable. Hold on to our claim. She rubs at her head as if recalling all this was somehow physically painful. You know what it's like to spend your entire life in a place with no future? A place that only exists to hold a legal claim to a piece of territory? To shore up breach of contract negotiations between two corporations? It's like living in a... She searches for the word, her eyes jumping back and forth. In a grave. She clenches her hands. So if you're looking for the answer to why questions, that's your answer. We, Peek and I, know what it's like to be forgotten. Same! To be locked out. She stares hard at the side of the stack, the algae whirling against the glass in beautiful patterns, and she doesn't look away. The silence extends and you realize the conversation is over. Esh seems angry, not at you, but with herself for even voicing such ideas. After a while, you stand and start to load crates onto the powered cargo trolley that Esh will run back to the Briar. As you do it, you try to catch her eye, but she avoids it. Sorry. Soothing herself instead with the comforting simplicity of physical work. We got an upgrade point. Can't use it, but we got one. Apparently I'm starving. That's great. Well, I did the best I could. Let me buy food from Emphas real quick. And then... go up. Do the rest of this. You know. And then we'll be done with the episode for today. Alright. Okay, we're just gonna sleep here. End cycle. But I've got a feeling when I wake up, something's gonna happen. Yep. She's gone, Sleeper. Peek is breathless and shaking. She started the run without us. Esh? Peek looks confused. Who else? Let's go. If we head to the corridor now. Peek starts back up the corridor. They turn back. She has to make it, Sleeper. She has to. A shiver runs down your spine. Esh, I hope you know what you're doing. We'll find out if Esh knows what they're doing next time. Oh, God. Recorded for a bit longer than I thought I would, but whatever. Not like I've recorded for like an hour before, it's fine. But, whatever. Hey. We got an ending. It's not the ending, but an ending. Pretty cool. But I've been that one frog. And thanks for watching.